Welcome, folks. Today I'm doing a tribute to a wonderful couple, Danny and Jean Wood. What wonderful people, both of them. Danny is one of the wonderful Woods of the Wood family of Auld, Cove. He's one of the older brothers, not the oldest. He's somewhere in the middle of the pack. In fact, I believe next birthday he's going to be 87. I seen him at his brother Joe's wake, and Joe, I believe, was 87. If Danny's next in line, Danny's going to be 87. Was one point, Eileen told me Mrs. Wood had 10 kids in 10 years. Then she had some kids before and after too. But so, wonderful family. And so Danny's a Wood, and there's a Hood Dairy in Boston, H-O-D. There's a sign on their milk on the side of their delivery truck saying, if it's Hood, it's got to be good. Well, if it's Wood, let me assure you, it's good, and it's very good. I loved it. I'm going to repeat that. If it's Wood, not only is it good, it's very good. And his lovely wife, Jean, is of Acadian stock. Jean was a Breen. That kind of rhymes, J-B. Jean Breen from Cape Jack. And Jean's mother died quite young, and the father raised her. And actually, Danny and Jean live in a home she was born in. Okay, right on Cape Jack and Cape Jack to Linwood Road, but they are Cape Jackers. And they've been married now for, well over 60 years. If I'm not mistaken, it must be very close. Should check this before I recorded, but they're very close to their 65th wedding anniversary. And they're fantastic people, have a number of kids. The oldest daughter was Sherry. She worked with me many years ago when she's a teenager. And she was a wonderful lady. And her mother, Jean, worked a little bit. And one day, Jean is known for a witty sense of humor. Wouldn't call it a sharp wit. It's just a kind, wit, bit like female version of Ewing Allen. They see pious man in tracks like that. He could see fun and humor in everyday things. So anyway, customer came in the store one day, and she said, sharp, must eat raisin beliefs for breakfast. She didn't miss a beat. And Jean's getting older now, as Danny's getting older, but they were married in the Catholic Church in Harabushy, and they were put together in presence of God in blessed matrimony, and that marriage shall stay together till God calls one of them home. And Jean's not feeling quite as good as she used to, and she will always be at home. Danny is the consummate, outstanding, fine husband. Jean has been a consummate, outstanding, wonderful wife for all these decades. I've known him for what? Oh, God. 45 years. I've been in their place many times, and they grow. Sergeant Carl was a great grower, but he's a great grower, too. He has Swiss chard. Swiss chard? I'm telling you, the Swiss chard, he grows so big, you almost need the handsaw to cut it with. It's beautiful Swiss chard he grows, and it's just copious amounts of it. Wonderful. So Danny and Jean Wood. Danny worked at the paper mill, and he was a very, very good guy. And he used to come in with his friend to buy seeds every spring, the late Billy Bushy, that lived not very far. They'd come and buy their seeds in the spring, one of them in a truck or Danny in his car. And just great customers. They come in, they had a list, knew what they wanted to get, and they bought their stuff. They put the fertilizer direct, thank you, see you again. When the tomato plant's going to be in, come back later, tomato plants or whatever. And they take, and both of them, extraordinary good people. They're a pleasure to know, and I can't say enough good about them. They have, let me see now, they have Sherry and Gary and Brent, and it starts with S, not Siobhan. She's married to Mary Louise's grandson, Carr. Daniel and Maxine Carr's son is married to their youngest daughter, Dana. Dana, that's the girl's name, Dana. Siobhan is one of Mary Louise's. So Dana. And so I think there's 4 kids. If any I missed, well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I hardly get them all. But anyway, remember when it was either Johnny Wood died or Jesse Wood, and that's Johnny Wood's been gone to heaven now for 35 years, Danny's father, and Jesse's been gone for about, it must be 37 years now. Let me see, 1987, 35 years, 36 years since Grandpa Wood's gone, and Mrs. Wood would be heading on to close to 30 years, 20, probably 28, 29 years. Anyway, point I want to make is at the reception at the fire hall after, Dana was there with her husband. It was her grandmother that died, and said his car from West Arm Tracking, they're great people too, and said his grandmother was one of my first customers. And Jean ribbed Danny, said, "Hear that? His grandmother, Mary Louise, was one of my first customers. And other grandmother, Grandma Carr, was a customer, and his mother was a customer. So they're great people. Maxine and Danielle. Margaret Carr, she was widowed by the time I knew her, and her late husband was a mechanic guy, great fella. And Mary Louise, and they're just wonderful people. And so again, it's a tribute to Danny and Jean Wood of Cape Jack. And I want you to know, I repeat, it's worth repeating. You're both a pleasure to know. I wish you all the best. God bless. A happy Labor Day weekend to you all. And thank you very much. Bye for now. See you soon. Bye.